We will get critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools, and we're going to get it out of our schools very fast. But no, he's not going to be president, that I can tell you. And I'm safe. You know why? He can't be. He wasn't born in this country.
Wow, the increasingly common perception that unelected MAGA billionaire Elon Musk has effectively usurped control of the Republican Party and the MAGA movement from Donald Trump and is simply using Trump as a puppet is so widespread and persuasive that Donald Trump himself, visibly nervous, went on stage at a big MAGA rally to desperately try and debunk this. And I don't think it's going to work, folks. I think it's going to make the perception that much worse. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. Wow, I was planning on discussing this issue anyway. But then I saw Donald Trump's recent performance at the America Fest rally. This is just breaking news that's just happened, and I'm like, we definitely have to talk about it so bad that even Trump, in his stupidity and malignant narcissism, felt the need to try to desperately fend this off, and I think it's just going to make it worse. So before we get to Trump for context, Elon Musk, who donated between $250 million or $277 million to electing Donald Trump that we know of based on financial disclosures, well, he's warming his way into the heart of the MAGA movement. He is constantly by Trump's side. He's constantly at Mar-a-Lago. He's constantly, publicly and privately pressuring the MAGA movement to do what he wants this person for this role, this policy instead, not this continuing resolution. And the increasingly common perception is that for all intents and purposes, he's the leader of the Republican Party and the de facto president-elect. And it's so bad that even on Twitter, like if you look, President Elon is constantly trending. People are commenting on this on both sides of the aisle. President Musk, if you look at President-elect Musk or President-elect Elon, all these things, it is a trending notion, and people are talking about it. Articles are being published about this, news segments and news commentary being devoted to it. This is an increasingly widespread thing. And Donald Trump is nervous, he's insecure, and he actually dedicated a tangent to at his America Fest speech to actually try to address this, and I don't think this is persuasive at all. So we're going to play these clips and unpack it together, starting with this one.
And we will create the new Department of Government Efficiency headed by Elon Musk. And no, he's not taking the presidency. I like having smart people. You know, they're on a new kick. Russia, Ukraine, all the different hoaxes. And the new one is, President Trump has ceded the presidency to Elon Musk. No, that's not happening.
No, that's not. I mean, he almost sounds like he's having some sort of he's processing grief, like denial on stage with cameras on in front of thousands of people. There was no reason to even address this. That certainly wasn't in the teleprompter. He could have been talking about Doge, and you know how he could have used this, number one, if it were true that he's really in charge, and Elon Musk isn't. But number two, that he wanted to fend off the perception, he could have done this in a different way. He could have talked about in his prepared remarks about the so-called Department of Government Efficiency that, he could have used it to reestablish dominance. Elon Musk is going to come to me, and with my blessing and blah, blah, blah. He could have done this in a way without feeding directly the notion that Musk has usurped control over him, but he did the exact opposite. He couldn't help himself. He's so insecure. Think about this. I want you all to remember, and I may try to pull up the clip here in just a second, just to bring you back. You remember how Trump behaved during the debate against Vice President Harris, where she attacked his crowd size, how you almost see like there's a pause as he's processing in real time, but he just can't help himself. He felt the need, calls it a hoax. Well, you just furthered the perception by addressing this so-called hoax. You gave it your time and attention. You proved to not only your followers, but your critics, people like me, that this is on your mind, that this is bothering you. You're about to become the most powerful man in the world. Heast. I'm paper, right? In theory. Not only the most powerful man in the world, but the most powerful version of the most powerful man in the world. Because again, on paper, you've got unified control of the United States government. You have a Supreme Court immunity decision, which gives you even more carte blanche. This should be, you won re-election and you won the popular vote. In theory, a secure person who is in control would not feel the need to address this, but you did. And that suggests that, it's true that Musk has usurped you and you don't control him, and that the dynamic favors him over you. Here's another clip.
He's not going to be president, that I can tell you. And I'm safe. You know why? He can't be. He wasn't born in this country. But the fake news knows that. No, he's a great guy, and we want to have him. Everybody, so many people are in this audience that have helped. So to
Donald. That's why. Okay, so what Trump is talking about is the fact that Elon Musk not being a natural-born citizen of the United States. He was born in South Africa. He was South African citizen before he came to the United States and became an American citizen. He's constitutionally ineligible to become president. That's true. But nobody's saying he is the official, the dour president-elect. We're saying he is the shadow president, the shadow president-elect, the de facto president-elect, as in all but name, the power behind the throne, that he's pulling your strings. You didn't debunk anything. Don again, is it? Well, he can't be president, so that just proves a fake media, fake news that just proves a fake news wrong. No, it would be fake news. If we said that he was going to run for president and be elected, that would be fake news. Instead, what we're saying is because of this constitutional ineligibility, he has found a way to subordinate you, the official president-elect, the man who is not constitutionally eligible. Al, quite frankly, should be given Section 3 of the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, which forbids oath-takers who are insurrectionists from becoming president again. Unfortunately, the Supreme Court decided against sanity on that one. I digress. That's the point of him using you as a puppet, Donald. And he said, I'm safe. You're not safe. Not from de facto control. It comes down to strength of character, strength of will, the willingness to eject Musk's sinister influence. But you are also a corrupt billionaire, and you're afraid of him. Elon Musk, for his part, listen, Elon Musk has very stupid political takes, very dishonest political takes politically. He is genuinely a stupid person, but he has as just in general, he is definitely smarter than Trump, and he actually saw this coming. Elon Musk blasts legacy media puppets trying to tear him and Donald Trump apart with President Elon talking points, and this was from 2 days ago, and it's talking about people who have been, pointing out the ever-shifting and obvious dynamic between Trump and Musk. So Musk responded to this idea. He said, this is exactly the goal. The political and legacy media puppets all got their new instructions yesterday and are now pairing the same message to drive a wedge between Donald Trump and me. And he said this in response, that the goal is to weaken Trump and Elon by fomenting tensions between them, by jabbing Trump about not being the alpha. The idea is to provoke him to sideline Elon and to fray the relationship, except you're the one effectively telling us you both are signaling that this is the case with your inappropriate, assertive dominance over us. Politic. You're the ones creating this perception. If it's not true, then maybe you should get the hell out of politics instead of like burrowing deeper into it. You, Elon Musk, and you, Donald Trump, are the ones feeding this perception. If it's not true, then behave differently. But I think it is true. And again, Musk is smart enough to see this coming. He's like, oh, well, the only way this works is if I'm in Trump's orbit, because it's like it's in theory. This could end if Trump finds a backbone, if Trump finds his sense of assertion, his alpha masculine tendencies, if they really existed in theory, since he is officially the president-elect. Like, he could eject Musk out of MAGA. He could expel him. You know, for those of you out there, I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan. I imagine many of you are too, at least the first 4 seasons. But I want you to think about it. In Game of Thrones, there's this position called the Hand of the King. And on paper, you're basically a diet king. You're deputy king. You are the prime minister. But you're basically one step below the king, and you can do everything that the king can do, except the king can overrule you, right? That's the point. Like, it's a uniquely powerful position with no real historical analog, except perhaps the grand viziers of, like certain Persian empires, in Game of Thrones. And Musk's influence is so sinister, and people are catching on to it, that it is driving Trump insane, but it's all Trump's fault. The reason that Elon Musk has perceived to be this powerful and dominant over Trump is because of Trump. And so if it's not true, Donald, put Musk in his place. Kick him out of the MAGA inner circle, because the longer you refuse to do that, and you burst into these insecure, outbursts on stage, and you have your spokesperson, scribble out these wildly unconvincing gestures, the more you do that, the more you feed the perception that Musk is in charge, not you. Pretty embarrassing in the meantime. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you want to help boost this video and you enjoy, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video. And if you're stuck around to the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments or just say hi. Thank you for your support. And until next time, I'll see you soon.